Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm your host, Ninon de Rosa, and my co-host is AJ Dean. Sit back and enjoy the show. Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm Ninon, your host, and we have the incredible co-host, AJ. AJ, how are you? We have incredible guests today, and I want to thank all our audience out there for joining us and to being with us and supporting what we're putting out there and how we're introducing all these different actors and performers and whoever they may be. They could be an author, they could be an entrepreneur, it could be anything. AJ, who have we got today?
Yes, Ninon, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And today it is with great respect and honor for me to introduce Grammy Award winner, Mr. Frederick J. Balboni Jr., President and CEO at Balboni Communications Group, Heard Reed Enterprises, LLC. He's really a curator of American history with his wonderful musical group, the Platters, international recording artists, featuring Lance Bernard Bryant and Omar Ross. A warm welcome to all of you. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How are you all? This is such an honor. I am so excited. I was listening to both of you, the Platters singing, and it's just amazing. It took me all the way back. I'm not going to tell you how many years, but it took me back a few years. And I remember an incident with the Platters playing in the background, and it was amazing. Fred, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm amazing because I've got you on our show, and I think it's an honor. It's great, and it's wonderful. So, what is the connection between you and the Platters?
Well, I started working with Herb Reed as his personal manager in 2005.
Wow!
And we had quite an experience together. My job at the time was to kind of get things in order for him personally because he was getting along in years, and it was very important to him that he get the foundation in place in order to have a legacy, a long-lasting legacy of his music. Because as you know, he formed the group in 1953. So I continued to work with him up until the time of his death. I discovered after he had died that he had left the group to me and to continue on his legacy. And I kind of look at myself and AJ mentioned it in the very kind introduction that she gave, that I'm more of I consider myself a curator of a piece of treasure, a music treasure, which is the Platters, which made significant strides in the music community back at the time that they were put together and they got together.
I know, because it seems to be that, to me, as you know, loving music how I do, that they've always been around. There's always been the Platters. And it's funny, you mentioned groups, you think of groups, and it's always, whether it's just me, because when I was very, very young, I was dating this, I have a date with this guy. I think I was all of like 15 years old or something like that. And I remember—
You're only 20 now.
I love it. I love you. Oh, in my life forever.
Wait a minute. I love Fred. He's mine.
No, you already got a husband. Hang on a second.
Okay.
But I always remember the music playing in the background, and it was called Red Seas Over the Sunset. Would that be the right title?
Red Sails in the Sunset.
Red Sails in the Sunset. I remember that so well. Now, how are you, Lance? And Lance, is it Lance and Bryant or Lance Bryant? Which is which?
It's Lance Bernard Bryant.
And who's the other gentleman?
Omar Ross.
Omar, how are you? And Lance, how are you?
Doing
Good,
well. Thank you so much.
Are you doing well?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in Boston. It's gorgeous outside. So
Yeah.
it's a nice day and there's less snow. So I'm happy.
we don't have any snow. I'm in Vegas. I have the delight of the whole world because we have sunshine and no clouds, and it's beautiful out there.
Well, Ninon, if you look behind me and you look out, there's a window behind me.
I can see that.
There's some snow out there, so I brought a little northeast snow for you.
Well, that's awful. Like a relish. Now, where are you? You're in Massachusetts?
I am.
You are? Okay. My late husband came from Massachusetts.
What part?
Oh, Arlington.
Get out. Okay, so you want to hear something? There's a connection. Herb Reed had a condominium and he moved. Okay, so he moved to Los Angeles, started the group in the 1950s in Los Angeles.
Who? Herb Albert.
Eventually moved to Massachusetts and took up residence in Arlington, Massachusetts.
And that's a Herb Albert, right?
That's Herb Reed.
Herb Reed, sorry about that. Herb Reed. Well,
Right.
do you ever remember a place called the Green Parrot? There was a restaurant there's a restaurant and bar, and it's called the Green Parrot. Well, my husband's father owned that.
Really?
Yeah, so we're going into history. Now, Omar and Lance, where are you?
Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Well, you're all in Boston together.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, you see, because Boston is actually the old English part, the part that's supposed to really look like England.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because obviously
That's
that's
true.
what the Mayfair.
And it does. When you go to downtown Boston, where our State House is, which was architecturally designed by Charles Bulfinch, who was a very famous architect, and right in that area, it's called Beacon Hill.
Oh yeah,
You would
I
think
know.
you were in London by walking through the street, gas lamps and all.
Absolutely. Now let's get on to the Platters. So, Fred, you've sort of put this whole thing together, and are you still performing? I believe you're coming to Vegas with the Platters. Is that correct?
That is correct.
When you
Ask me the date, you're going to catch me because I can't remember.
I can tell you. I will tell you.
Thank you, AJ.
I am so thrilled that the Platters are coming to Las Vegas. They will be in Las Vegas performing at the Orleans Casino Saturday, July 24th at 7 p.m. And anyone who is interested can go along to bands in town and find out about the tickets, and you'll get notifications. Or you can also contact the Platters on Facebook or Fred on Facebook, and it's going to be I'm so happy about it. I'm so excited.
Thank you, AJ, to give us all that information. You know, I love AJ. AJ has come into my life, and I've just got to give her a shout out. This woman is amazing. She knows all the things I don't know, because I kind of forget and everything else.
Me too. I adopted her.
But Fred, between you and I, we've got to keep AJ around. We've got to keep AJ happy.
Yes, we do.
It's like a man keeping a wife happy. As long as she's happy, everything's good.
Okay, well, I like the sound of that. Another thing I want to talk about is the Evolution Revolution, which is all about the Platters.
Yes.
And I was wondering, Fred, if you could talk a little bit about the Platters then and the Platters now.
Sure. Well, there's a big misconception that Platters fans have. And that misconception is that the original Platters, people who think of the original Platters are not the original Platters. The original Platters were actually Herb Reed, the founder and naming member, and everybody knows him. And he was the original member from the time he started the group, 52, 53, all the way up until his death in 2012. The other original members that joined him initially were Cornell Gunther, and Cornell Gunther went on, as you may remember, to start the group The Coasters, the funny guys of music in the day. And a fellow by the name of Joe Jefferson. Later on, Joe started a big funk band that was out of Philadelphia, and Alex Hodge. And those were the original Platters. Over the years, since that time, since its inception, there have been many voices. So we like to say that it's many voices in one name, right?
And it truly is. It truly is.
The people that came in 1954, 55 were Alex Hodge left the group, and Joe Jefferson left the group, and Cornell Gunther left the group, and they were replaced by Paul Roby, David Lynch, and am I forgetting, Lance? Paul, David, and
Herb Reed and Joe Jefferson.
Who?
Oh wait.
Are we stuck or what?
The second lineup. Sorry, I was thinking of the original lineup.
No, the second lineup. It was Herb, David, Paul,
Roby,
Tony
Williams.
Huh?
Tony Williams, wasn't it?
Tony
Well,
Williams.
Tony Williams. Tony Williams.
Anyway,
How did I forget Tony Williams? I had, you know,
Tony
that's a
Williams,
sin.
we're very
So I'm
sorry.
gonna get all these nasty emails that I forgot Tony Williams. For a minute.
Forgive us, Tony.
Gone, but no, certainly not forgotten.
That's
Tony
right.
Williams is an amazing tenor, as you recall. And then in 1954-55, they brought on a female named Zola Taylor. And at that point, they actually broke through the gender divide. And when they did that, they were the first group of its time, so they were way ahead of its time.
Wow.
And had a female and an all-male group. So that's the group that everybody thinks are the original Platters, because that's the time that iteration of the group at that point got on Mercury Records, and then they got on the music charts, and then had a hit with Only You, which is a very interesting story in and of itself. How that came.
Well, I can't sing, but
That was great.
did I try? Hey, listen, Fred, I have to ask you first, though, because I think that would be the polite thing to do. Fred, can we have a little a cappella from Omar and Lance?
Well, you know, it's fine with me if it's okay with them. And just so the viewers are in perspective, two of our other members are in North Carolina, and they were unable to join us today because they have previous commitments. And that is Brian McIntosh and Leslie Monet. So unfortunately, they send along their best greetings to you and wish they could be joining you today.
Well, maybe another time we'll have all four. Yeah, another time we'll have all four of you on. Absolutely, it would be
Absolutely.
I'd love
So
to
now I
have you
leave
on
that to
again.
Lance. I leave it to Lance and Omar to decide.
Would you
whether or
like
not
to do
they-
a little? Can you do a little harmonia, little Platters thing for our audience? I'm sure would love to hear you. So I'm putting you on a spot, but I do that all the time.
Well, we won't want to leave you hanging, and
Yeah.
we'll give you something. It's the best we could do. We haven't rehearsed this. This is just for you.
That's what I want. I got what I want. All right, go ahead. They're looking at each other.
Shades of night are falling. It's twilight time. Out of the mist, your voice is calling. It's twilight time. When purple-colored curtains mark the end of day, I'll hear you, my dear, at twilight time.
Do you know, Fred, you've got to be so proud of yourself of them doing the a cappella, and you close your eyes and it's just like they're singing, you know, in a big auditorium. Truly, you have.
Oh yeah, you should hear them when they're together, when they're all together.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
We are blessed with a wonderful group. Of course, the Platters are a vocal group, right? By their very existence.
Absolutely.
So in the show, if you were to see our live show, there are instances during the live show where they sing completely a cappella, so that the harmonies are stressed and all of their vocal talents are stressed. So in that there's many voices, in this case, there's 4 voices. Each of them are stars in their own right, and they all have their own vocal abilities and vocal talents and experience that they bring to the landscape. They bring to the Platters landscape, and they bring to the group. So I am truly blessed to have.
You are very blessed. I'm going to come back to you, Fred. Lance and Omar, you're in this group. How are you feeling about it? Because we've been through this pandemic of not being able to perform. And so now you're coming out in July, which is about the time when Vegas is already now starting to open up. We're starting to see a few acts. But you've got to be so proud of yourselves, still keeping the Platters around, still keeping that harmony, keeping that incredible, I guess, 4 of you out there. How are you feeling about it?
I love it. I absolutely enjoy it, and I'm very excited to get back to Vegas. I spent about 10 years of my life living there.
Really?
So I did, and I'm really anxious to get back to performing because it's one thing, like you said, it's an honor to be a part of the group. And I've been fortunate to be with the group since 2012, and to be able to bring along a very good friend, Omar, here, and introduce him to the group as well. And it really is a joy to be a part of a living legacy and part of the continuation with a lot of the new music that we're working on. Like, did you get a chance to see our new?
I saw it because I think Fred sent it to me, or AJ sent it to me, and I listened to it. And I just was intrigued about how you all harmonize. I'll get to you in the minute, Omar. But how do you keep that harmony going as good as you have it, because it's absolutely streamlined?
We really work on it. We get together, we really do spend time practicing the harmonies, listening to the tracks that everyone's accustomed to. And
the original tracks.
Yes. Well, original is...
Keeping up with, yeah.
It's not original because they're all different.
Right.
Well,
Exactly.
the original members were the four gentlemen, and then the tracks that everyone knows and loves is really the second lineup.
Yes.
And but everyone refers to it as the original. But
Yes.
we do listen to both harmonies, and we try to stay to that foundation.
So you try to go, because it seems to be you've got that it's that certain harmonization that you have that's incredible, because it's very soft, but it's very clear and it's very definite. And it's so beautiful. So you actually listen to the old recordings of whomever the group it was or whatever it was, and then you try to get as close to that as, well, you're real close, let me tell you.
Well, they do that, Ninon, but let me interject for a minute, because
Yes.
the music is on sheet music. So I'm sure you've seen sheet. I don't have any on my desk at the moment, but the harmonies are also written as well on the sheet music. So
Ups and downs.
we follow that, and they use their own skills really to follow the notes that are written out for them. That's the blueprint that we use. So while they do listen to the music kind of as a point of reference, they do not let's see, they do not
Copy it. They do their own.
they don't puppet it. Exactly.
Yeah, I can feel that they as much as they listen to it, and also the sheet music, they also have their own tone. But they are it's so close and so beautiful. Now, Omar, your voice is exactly the same as all the others. It just comes out this. How do you control that voice of yours? It's amazing.
I've been singing for a while, since I was a young kid, and
You were 5 years old.
Actually like 4, I believe. I was the first one.
See, they all are. They're so young.
A lot of it comes from just that long history of doing it, but also being in this group, I feel I have a lot of wonderful support. I mean, Lance is a voice genius. He knows so much, and being able to work with Brian and Leslie and Lance, it's like we just come together and we can feel each other, and it makes a world of a difference.
That's what comes out with it when you sing. That's exactly what comes out. It's like you're just like one pack. It's like one voice intermingled together. It's just amazing how you are. But you get those notes, Omar. You get that feeling that comes out. To me, it's just like, how on earth does he do that? But as you say, it's practice. Did you ever think you would be doing this at a young age?
Never in my life. And I feel so honored to be a part of it.
Well, it's such a legendary name, isn't it, Fred?
Absolutely. It most certainly is. And it's very important to American music history. So that's why it's very important that the people that are members of the group reflect that history and reflect that foundation.
And I also want to, can I add to that? I just want to give a recognition to the Platters and their wonderful manager. Fred, you are amazing. And you have an extensive background. I just want to mention you because I believe you're a star as well, and you shine so bright. You have worked for Disney and Marvel Studios regarding the Platters, right?
Well, indirectly, Disney and Marvel Studios have adopted Twilight Time for a new series that they are very successful and highly acclaimed new series called WandaVision, which is on Disney Plus. And so they've licensed our music to appear on that soundtrack. And it's broken all kinds of, not just the song, but the total package of WandaVision and our song together have broken all kinds of records in streaming television history at the moment.
Now,
with WandaVision.
Fred, you have a very, 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 very long bio of your life and what you've done. When you look back and you see all the things you've done, you were very much into politics. How did you get into all that?
Well, you know, Ninon, it's very true that they say politics and entertainment are very synonymous with each
Well, yeah,
other,
they
right?
are entertaining us, that's for sure.
They're very entertaining. I won't get into anything now, but they're very entertaining. So, in that respect, I started in politics when I was in television. So I started in television at a really young age. I was 15, and I was host of a television show on WBZ TV, which is, by the way, the first television station in the United States.
I read that.
Yeah, and I hosted a TV show on on Saturday nights for teenagers by teenagers. At that time, I got to meet many national folks, right?
Yeah.
So I became very close with the governor of our state at the time, who was Michael Dukakis, who later became the presidential candidate.
Dukakis. Okay, we know
Michael wrote my recommendation to college. I went to Emerson College here in Boston, which is an amazing communication school. And Michael wrote my recommendation there. And then I kind of, while working in television and going to school, I did lots of fun things. I got to be at a really young age, at a very, very young age. And it just kind of evolved from there. Yeah. And later on in life, in the 2000s, also for a time, also while working with Herb, I was a lobbyist for a pharmaceutical company. Now, not for medicine, but drug delivery systems. You know, they provided the tubes for IVs, et cetera. And through that, I became the director of the Consortium for the Advancement of Patient Safety and got really involved in that, worked with the World Health Organization, the CDC, and the FDA. So I've been blessed, really, to have a very diverse background.
How did you get into the music business? Do you manage other groups, or is this the only group?
I do. No, I started working back in the day, but back in my day.
Yeah, my day too.
70s, early 80s. One of the first artists that I worked with became my mentor, and that's I'm sure everybody's heard of him, Frank Sinatra. And we worked on our first thing together. I think I was 21, maybe 22. Wow. And we worked on a benefit for a former Red Sox baseball player called Tony Canigliaro, who I'm sure sports fans are aware of. He had gotten badly injured by getting a baseball to the side of his temple, and it eventually sidelined him from baseball. However, I worked on a fundraiser for him with Frank Sinatra, Dionne Warwick, and Marvin Hamlish, and we all became
into the right set, didn't you?
I did, and Frank and I stayed very much in touch. He's an amazing man, and being an Italian boy. I guess it meant a lot to having an Italian role model like that, right? And somebody to give me guidance on the music business.
I had an opportunity of meeting him actually in Beverly Hills in his home, and I also had the opportunity to sit with him and have a long chat. And only because I was from Europe, we were talking all about Europe and different things. And I was very young at that time, extremely young. And it was such an honor. And we had dinner at his house and the whole bit. And it was so I had that opportunity. So I think with you having all these opportunities are amazing. Let me just go back a little bit to Lance and Omar. How did you get involved with Fred? How did all this occur to get yourself out there and what's happening?
I'll share how I got into the group. I was living in Astoria, Queens at the time. This was around 2012. Mm-hmm. And I had just, the show that I was a part of was in Macau, China. And I was in the production of Cirque du Soleil's Zaya.
Oh, wow.
So I moved to New York and I was working at the Blue Man Group Theater at the time as an usher. And a friend of mine who I don't name often in interviews, and I'm going to give you his name. His name is Kwame Michael Remy. And he called me up and said, hey, there's an audition happening for a vocal group. I think it sounds like it would fit you perfectly. You should go and check it out. So I went on my lunch break and I walked into the room, which Fred was sitting at the table. Our now music director, and then music director, Michael Larson, was sitting at the piano, and a few other members of the group were at the table, but I didn't know.
Were you nervous?
Honestly, I was a little bit. I was very curious because I hadn't auditioned for something where it was totally blind, where I didn't
You didn't know what you were doing. You didn't know what you were going for.
Right. I just knowing I would really love to go and have some, some lunch right now, but I'm going to go and sing on this audition because this is an opportunity that's going to lead me on an adventure that I have no idea. So I walk in and I sing a few songs, and they said, okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll give you a call.
Great, right?
Yeah, I go back to work. I walk back into work, and shortly after I walk in, I got a phone call again, and it was Fred, and they asked how soon I could come back, and I turned right back around, and I went in and I sang a few more songs, and he said, how would you like to go on the road with the Platters? And my jaw hit the floor.
Wow.
And it was history since then. I said, absolutely. I had been a big fan. I love harmony. I've sung in a cappella groups for years.
Yeah.
So
this was kind of your break. This was your break and your opportunity that you had no idea what's going on and what was happening.
I am so glad that I skipped lunch that day because
yes, so am I.
it opened up a beautiful opportunity, and it's been a true blessing.
And it's been a beautiful ride ever since, hasn't it?
It has, and I'm very thankful. There have been many amazing moments that I've had the ability to share, and alongside so many other beautiful vocalists and singers who have all contributed to where we are heading now. And
yeah, because now you're going into another level. Now, what about you, Omar? How is your entree? I don't mean dinner. I mean no, lunch.
How was your entree?
I used to work on cruise ships a lot, and I actually ran into Lance on a ship as he was singing in a cappella groups. Mm-hmm. And we met once or twice. Yeah. And that was about 10 years ago. And we kept in touch. And I texted him one day and said, hey, how's it going? And he asked me, how are you doing? I said, I was looking for work. I was living in LA at the time, a year and a half ago. And I got a text from him out of the blue. It said, hey, send me your stuff. I want to, and I said, what do you mean? He goes, your entertainment packets, send it to me. And so I did. And the next week, I got a call back saying that I was being asked to audition for the Platters.
So you have only been with them. You haven't been with them that long.
No.
So this is a brand new experience for you.
Yeah.
The newest member.
I'm sorry?
He's the newest member.
The newest member, but how did you? Well, I'm going to say, how did you become the lead singer? Because of your voice, of course. So
no, he's not a lead singer. I have to. Let me interject for a minute. He's not a lead singer. They're actually all lead singers. There's no one specific lead singer. They all sing leads on different songs. For example, if you look at the classics, Lance does the lead on "Smoke Gets in Your Eyes," the big Jerome Kern classic that the Platters remade and made extraordinarily popular. Ryan does the lead on "My Prayer." Leslie does the lead on "He's Mine." So and then of course other music that is in the show and the new music that we have coming out in 2021, which we can talk about later. But they're all it's a group of all lead singers. So there's not just one lead singer.
Okay,
I just wanted to make that clarification.
Lance, a cappella, come on.
Actually, that's a good idea, Lance. Do a couple of bars of Smoke.
You want smoke? They asked me how I knew my true love was true. Oh, I of course replied, something here inside cannot be denied.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. You're just absolutely amazing.
What part of Europe are you from, Ninon?
I'm from England. I know I have I have a French name, first name, then my middle name De Vere is from my father's heritage. De Rosa is an Italian name because I was married to an Italian for 29 years. So I have Italian ways. I can cook a little bit Italian. Fred, are you married?
I am.
I'm going somewhere. I'm going.
but I do have something to tell you that you're going to find very cool.
What?
Lance sings beautifully in Italian. He sings like perfectly. His enunciation is amazing.
We hear a little bit of this Italian.
Yeah, go ahead, Lance. Sing something.
Do you want your favorite?
Sure.
Go ahead.
What's your favorite, Ninon?
Oh, well, non mo quitte pas, but that's French.
Oh, okay.
So-
Il faut s'oublier, tout faut s'oublier. And I don't know the rest, but I know that.
Wow. Wow.
Stick to the Italian.
But
there you
for Fred, it's
I got it. What about Peppino?
it's
Papino.
Gilla vasciusella rettamor, ogni sera che le esce quando la casa è scura, indomienzerà cucina balla sull'azzurro, appare un malandrina pure gatta zapparò. Peppino surgilla ma fatta scomparì, mannaggia surgilla casa nadai, stasera in da cucina un po' che vino già lascia, e quando si embriaga Peppino a ciancapà.
I love it. Thank you so. Oh my gosh, I love it. That has made my day.
AJ,
Can we stay on forever, please? Can we stay on forever?
I
We had
know
a great time with you.
that you know, having you all on the show. This is what the sort of things we like to do, and I'd just like to thank all of you. You've just been amazing. Putting this all together and understanding a little bit about the history of the Platters that are so astronomical. I mean, so amazing out there that you can't forget them, and you certainly can't forget them now. And I never realized, and Fred, thank you for informing us that each one is a celebrity and each one has their own. They're not just in the background; that each one is the same. What are the other groups you have, Fred?
Right now I primarily work with the Platters, but I've worked with Jennifer Holliday, the star of Dreamgirls, the stage play Dreamgirls. She's one of the 4 Broadway divas, and I've worked with Jennifer since she's about my age. So back at the time she was previewing Dreamgirls in Boston.
Holding.
What's that?
39 and holding.
There you go. Exactly.
Okay.
So basically though, right now I've worked with many artists through the years, but right now I'm concentrating on, because it's so important that and we've got new music coming out for getting younger people to hear some of our classics, although we don't really need that because some of our classic songs are being used in television shows and in motion pictures today. And we've been on Empire, which is in the Fox 21st Century series. That's a big hit, multi-Emmy Award winning show. We've been on the X-Files with some of our classic songs. So Breaking Bad. So we've been in, our classic music is still very much alive. It's timeless. We have new music coming out, and the new music will hopefully bring even more younger people into the fold. But it's in the tradition and style of the Platters.
But you actually have an advantage here, and the advantage you have is Lance and Omar. You're in the younger generation, and so you're bringing in the old music, which is coming in, and they're still going to like the old songs, although we're going to enjoy the new ones. But you're still going to bring those because you're young enough to reach these people, and a lot of people are getting very tired of a lot of different things. And I think bringing in some of these older songs in a younger generation is going to be amazing. How can anybody reach you, Lance and Omar?
The best way is through our website, which is www.theplatters.com. We're also very active on Facebook and increasingly on TikTok. So we love to hear from people there. That's the best place. And if you send us a message there, we will send a message back.
We'll send a message back to you. Absolutely. Same for you, Omar?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's all the same, all in the same realm. And how about you, Fred?
Same thing. Anybody can reach me through theplatters.com.
Okay, and so we've got this show coming up on July the 23rd, did I hear?
July 24th, Saturday at 7 p.m. at the Orleans Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm excited. I want to get tickets. Get online right now and order your tickets. I'm sure it's going to be sold out. And for this timeless music, it's so wonderful. It's exactly what the world needs right now. I need it. I love it. And I have so many more questions for you, Fred. Also, I want all of you back on, please. I want to talk about all of your wonderful things that you did with the presidents of the United States, your involvement there. Thank you for your service on that. And we want to talk a little bit more about that. Ninon?
Absolutely. Yeah, yes. So what are you're concentrating, Fred, at the moment? Balboni. I love that name. Balboni. Am I saying it right?
You're saying it perfectly.
Okay, well, that's because of the Italian in me. I have
That's
to.
right. Bene, molto bene.
Wow, I gotta get it right.
Tu parli italiano?
Italian? No.
Oh.
I can barely speak English. I have difficulty sometimes.
Hey, I have a cute little thing to let you know too. One of the members of the group who back in the day performed with the Platters in the quote, the 1950s. After Tony Williams left the group, he left in 1959, the year I was born. And Tony, when he left, Sonny Turner took his place, and Sonny Turner actually lives in Las Vegas, and I understand he plays in some lounges on occasion. He's up there in age.
You're not talking about Sonny Charles, are you?
No,
Okay.
Sonny Turner. Although I think his middle name is Charles, so
Okay.
it's possible that it's possible that he uses that name as well.
He sings as Piazzadora.
No, that's not the same one.
Okay, and he's up
He's
there.
definitely not.
His name is Sonny Charles, and he was with a big group. I forget the group he was with, but he's quite well known in town. And
I'm sorry to interrupt, Ninon. We have about 1 minute left, but I do want to thank our superstars today. Thank you so much, everyone.
And I would like to thank Lance and Omar. You are absolutely amazing. We will definitely be there for tickets. We'll make sure that AJ and myself are going to be there to support you, but we'll probably catch up with you a little bit before that anyway, when you're in town. And of course, Fred, you are just amazing. And I just want to thank you for, taking time with us and coming on the show, and so that we can actually get you out there a little bit of what you're doing. And the Platters are still, still around, and Fred is definitely around. I'm sure you've got an awful lot of stuff in store because although you do the Platters a lot, you've also got your own business and other business you do as well. But you're all absolutely amazing, and thank you very, very much. Do you want to give a shout out to anybody, Lance and Omar?
Wanted to say a hi to Brian and Leslie, who are not here with us.
Yeah.